Welcome to the channel, everybody. This is Hardware Despair. My name is Ryan, and today we are playing Dwarf Fortress. Here we go. This is Season 3, and I want you all to just accept your fate. This is the Accepting Oblivion series because I've come to realize there's no winning in this game. I should have known it long ago, but there's no winning. All there is surviving for a little bit and then restarting, which is what we are doing right now. So I've got my finding results locations all set up here. You can see in green. So the specifications I've laid out are I do want to be in the wilderness. You know, I want a bit of a challenge. If we're going to have some fun, let's have some fun. Now, I could set it harder and we could go for Untamed Wilds, but we're not doing that. Or even worse, we could set up like next to a Necromancer's Tower, which I'm not even sure if I have those in the world, but I'd really need to look around. Now, we do have a volcano, which at some point I'd love to start a location next to, but it's out on an island. So that would be a really challenging start. There would be no trading. But anyway, let's focus on today's episode and what we're going to be doing. So as I said, I've got Fluxstone Lair. Yes, please. Also, I've turned off the aquifers. They're a bit of a pain. You know, I like to have free digging access. Anyway, so in addition to that, I've just got some soil. And I'm relying on the fact that we'll have the kind of metals we need, or we can at least trade for them. We'll see how that goes. But let me look around at some of these green highlighted locations, and I'll see if I can't find anything really interesting. Well, you know what? We haven't done a playthrough in the mountains yet, so I think that's probably appropriate for this one. It might be a little bit challenging, but I've got this square in mind right here. Now, it's pretty mountainous. We might not have any access to wood initially. We'll see how that goes. That's going to be extremely challenging. But what I might do is set up an extra dwarf to be we could get 2 stone cutters going, but we'll worry about that in a little while. Anyway, I am going to move this over so it encompasses the river there too, because I like to have a little bit of water. So there we go. We've got our embark location selected. Let's see, play now, prepare carefully for the journey, 100%. I've also got the setup here. I'm going to dive in and do a whole new one. It's not going to be too super different, but I do want to adjust some of the dwarves a little bit. Let me dive into that. Let's see, enemies are normal, economy normal. Yep. Let me dive in, and I'll show you what I come up with. Okay, so I have got all of our dwarves laid out. Now below we've got 2 farmers. They're pretty standard. One's a cook and one's also the brewer. So they can both do farming and basically herb gathering as well, which is the herbalist trade, I believe. And yeah, one of them's actually a very good brewer. I made him maxed him out in terms of his brewing because it's so important. And eventually I'll probably just dedicate an entire spot to him so he's a proficient brewer. So we'll make a brewing station just for him and tie him to that station. That's all he's ever going to do. But anyway, let's move on. We've also got a woodworker in between 2 stone crafters, you'll see. So the woodworker is pretty standard for my usual loadout. I make sure to have him as a carpenter as well as woodcutter and a wood crafter. In addition, I always make 1 point in axe dwarf and 1 point in novice dodger so that he's more able to get out of the way when trees fall down, because you can get dwarves will get crushed if they don't have any skills with the axe. So that's why I do make them a little bit more agile for the woodworker. But the stone crafters are the most important thing for this loadout because we're going to have so little wood. This guy's probably going to be bored most of the time, but maybe I should set him to wood burning too at some point. But anyway, the stone crafters I've got laid out. The only difference is I usually have a mechanic / metal worker, but I figure we can just wait for our first wave of dwarves to set up a metal worker. So I've got a stone cutter / mechanic is the difference here. And then of course we've got our 2 miners up top. One of them's also additionally, in addition to being a miner, he's our manager, and he is also the trader, the broker for dealing with other factions and stuff. And of course the second miner is our doctor. So in addition to his mining skills, he also knows all the different doctoring abilities, has at least some proficiency in them. That should be this guy right here. Yep, you can see. He's actually a competent wound dresser. But anyway, so that's that. Now I can go through and do the animals and items. I like to do the animals next. What should we go with? So we're definitely going to have some dogs, cats, and some sort of bird. But then I'd also like a breeding pair of like animals that we can get milk and fur or wool from. So let me select some of those. All right. Well, I've got the cats, the dogs, two roosters, or I'm sorry, actually two hens and a rooster, two turkeys and a gobbler, and then of course we've got the breeding pair of alpacas. Now I'm actually thinking maybe we'll throw on a second alpaca here. That's probably not a bad idea, second female. Yeah, we can get more breeding going. All right, let's flip over to the items here. You can see I don't have many points left, but I'm definitely going to remove some stuff from this list. So maybe we'll go through that part together here. Okay, so right away I can see that there's a lot of seeds I'm not really going to need. I'm just going to focus on plump helmets to start with. Later on down the road we can, whoops, I'm putting them on. Later on down the road we can trade for more of these. But I might stick with like some sweet pods, but no, I'm just going to do plump helmets. That's all we need. For starters at least. So, and in addition to that, I'll probably beef that up. I'll double the amount we start with. Let's triple it. There we go. They're pretty cheap. And in fact, I might come back to this and just fill it out with extra since it only costs 1 point at the end if we have a couple spare leftovers. Now, the second thing I see is I'm going to delete one of the battle axes. We don't need two. I only have one woodcutter. I probably don't even need that. But also, I'm looking at the drinks, and I will probably come back to this and add some more on. But let's scroll down a bit more. All right, now we have bags. Those are fairly important for different reasons, so we'll keep it. I can probably reduce the thread down to like 3. Yeah, I think that's all that they need really for the doctor's the hospital. Maybe it's a little bit more, but we'll take some off. Also, additionally, ropes. I don't really think I need 3 ropes to start with. I don't need 3 quivers. I'll keep the buckets there. Also, I always remove splints and crutches. Those are something we can make pretty easily. As long as I get my hands on a little bit of wood, you know, we can fill that out and make those right away. Now, the wheelbarrow, I'll probably add one of those. And step ladders used for like getting stuff out of trees if the dwarves need to get up somewhere and harvest fruit or something. And they probably have other uses too. So I'll leave one of those. Now, you can see we're playing with a lot more points there, 263. So what I am going to do is go in and add on a bunch more drinks here. Let's see. Yeah, I'm probably going to double or triple what they've got. Okay, so I've gone in and like I said, I added a bunch more wine and rum. Also, I came down and put a lot more plump helmets. They only started with like 10 or so. And then I actually added some wood on. It's maybe not the smartest move, but I do want to be able to craft up a few things right away. So we've got a little bit of wood with us. You know, I could do some barrels because barrels are one of the things I want to craft up right away, but maybe I should just throw some barrels on there. Let's see, where are the barrels? So if I take the wood off, let's see, what'll that leave me with? Is there a hotkey to remove these, like in multiples? There's got to be. I don't see one. But anyway, let me see if I can't just add on some barrels. How many of those I can get out of this? Okay, well, the barrels are only 10 points each, so I just added 7 barrels right off the bat. So that's decent. Actually, I'll take that instead of the wood, and then I've got 2 points left over. So like I said, I'll come right back up to the top. And we'll drop a couple extra plump helmet spawns on there. Very good. So I could save this loadout, but I'm not going to. It's not, I don't necessarily think it's that hard to duplicate. So we are ready to embark. Let's go. All right, you guys. Well, we have got our new embark location, and here we are. The wagon is full. We've got the animals on the surface running around. I've done a little bit of work here just to set up preliminary stuff. So I've got a wood stockpile set. Of course, I've got orders for all the wood to be chopped and some harvesting to be done here. Now, if we zoom out, also you can see I've got a pen pasture set up here just for the animals. I've basically slapped all the animals in there for now. As we dig out some spaces below ground, we'll move some of the birds and stuff later. But for now, you can see actually wood's not going to be a problem up here. I guess because we are right on the edge of the mountains, I selected, close to the river. We did actually end up with quite a bit of forest here, so that's pretty cool. But you can see this place, like the elevation change is pretty significant in some of these areas. So like down here at the very lowest elevation, we go all the way up to where we embarked at up here. Yeah, you can see this is very high. And I love the idea of setting up our fortress on top of this mountaintop, basically. I mean, there's a couple of layers above us still, but there's not much to them. So I think this is the coolest spot right here. Now, we are pretty close to the edge, which isn't ideal, But I'm going to make this a really, really small footprint in terms of the walls that I establish here. So, we'll be okay. I think we'll still be able to slam our drawbridge shut if we get attacked and they end up right here. Maybe not. Maybe I'm totally wrong about that, but maybe we just have to hope that they don't spawn right there in that location. We'll see how it goes, though. It's a good test, right? So this is it. And of course, I'm going with my typical setup where I just build a column of staircases straight down, many, many Z levels, and we'll establish, our barracks and bedrooms on different levels and the workshops and such. So let's unpause it and get started. Let these guys get to work. See, yep, you can see the miners go down immediately. Oh, I also, real quick, before I'll pause it again, I need to do one other thing here. Now, I went up and I set our nobles and administrators. You can see I've already selected all this. I went into the labor and I did designate a stone cutting job, and I've made sure that everybody's doing exactly what they should. So I don't want to mess around with the labor tab any more than I have to. But at this, they always set somebody to be a fisher dwarf too. Like the doctor is always like defaulted to fishing, so I took that off. But in addition, now what I want to do is go in here and I want to turn plump helmets off on the kitchen for cooking. So I only want plump helmets to be made into drinks, not food. So that's what we've done here. And once I get some drinks, yeah, actually we have these two, so I'm going to turn those off because I don't want the kitchen to use the drinks in their recipes. They will too. They'll like marinate the meat in liquor and stuff, and the dwarves will love it. But right now we need to keep the drinks whole, so the dwarves have something. They don't want to drink water. God forbid. Okay, well, I'm not 100% sure if these guys can farm on silt, but I'm gonna open this part up and see. This will be, if we can, this will be where I establish our farming level. And it's only one level below the ground too, which isn't really ideal, but that's everything else below this is rock. So there's not a lot of soil here. Maybe it's possible that there's soil in one of the lower down elevations. If I went down here by the river, maybe this is soil. So it's possible. If this doesn't work, what I might do is instead, this will just end up being like a dumping area or something if we can't farm here. What? What? Hold on. Let's see what this is. I can't go to it. If we go to the surface. Hold on. Let's see here. All right. Well, I'm not sure what that was, but we're just going to go about our business. Something has collapsed on the surface. There's no way to zoom in on it either. Oh, here we go. Oh, weird. Oh, was it a tree? Obviously, it was a tree. Did somebody get injured? We might have gotten an injured dwarf. Like I've said, you can get someone, you can have trees fall on somebody. Hold on, let me see if I can figure that out. Let's see here. Where's our woodworker? Clean self. Why is he cleaning himself? He's healthy. He won't show any problems because he hasn't been evaluated. So it does say that he's healthy, though. All right, well, I'm not sure. But that was a weird notification anyway. Okay, well, good news is, looks like we can plant farms. Dang it, I keep forgetting to select that repeatable thing. Yeah, so we can set these farms down here, though, on the silt layer. So that's really great news for me. Okay, keep the building after placement. Yes, very good. So there we go. Looks like it's going to work. And it's important to get those down, I found, really early. Because sometimes the farmers get distracted doing other stuff. Like if you get the still and things up first, yeah, they might not focus on getting these established right away. But that's good. We've got that set up. Now I want to follow the miners and see what they're doing down here. Obviously, they're digging up more stairs, but I'm curious to see what some of these walls are made out of. There's a lot of rock salt here. It's interesting. I mean, we are in the mountains. It said that we did have like a fairly decent selection of metals and stuff. Surprisingly, we haven't seen any yet. I mean, theoretically, though, we're still pretty high up, considering how high up in the mountain we are. So the Z levels, maybe we need to go even deeper to get the... Oh, here we go. Here's some tetrahedrite. I believe that's copper. If we smelt that up, that'll turn into copper. Ah, here's the hematite. That's what we're looking for. Yep, that's the iron and stuff. So that'll be a good layer right there. Okay, it's good to know we have it. Okay, well, the dwarves have been doing some work. So we are looking at the farm plots being planted right now. Of course, I'm going to save this room across from them. I think we'll use that for another set of farm plots. But here we're going to have the kitchen and the still. And look, wow, even on this layer, we still run into rock flooring. So that's interesting. Yeah, I definitely want to preserve this area then here for more farms if needed in the future. This usually. All right, sorry about that, guys. Don't know where I left off there. Had some issues, but we are good to go. So this big area over here that I've designated to be dug out is going to be the dumping area. I like to keep that near the surface and kind of locked off on its own so that any miasma which collects here won't affect the rest of the dwarves. That's why we kind of have an airlock chamber right here, basically. And there will be a door at each of these two locations. But yeah, this is going pretty smooth. Now, I think it's probably about time to get the workshops down because these farmers, they're busy right now, but they'll get to be lazing about here pretty soon. So let me slap down their basically, we're going to do a kitchen and the, what do we call it? What's the other one? The still. That's what I'm looking for. So this might actually be something I separate into two separate rooms as well. So we'll do the stills up here because I will have multiples. And down here, I'll probably go with something like the kitchen as well as maybe, I won't put the butchers down here because that also can create miasma if they leave stuff. It's pretty smelly. So we can also place something else. Let me think. Let me look through the selection real quick. All right, so for now, we're just doing the kitchen, and I did the farmer's workshop over here. But yeah, that's going to be important for shearing the animals and stuff and things of that nature. Now, speaking of the animals, it's also going to be a really good idea to have at least a chicken coop basically located here underground. So I think I will go ahead and just place another room right here. And I will also dig one out here. We'll do this later. So what I've done is I've set those to 2 designation, but the connecting tunnel, I'm going to set it to a 6. So the dwarves won't get to that till a little bit later on. Because if we do, now my hopes for this room is that I can like put some animals down here. Maybe some pasture animals if we can grow some underground mushrooms and stuff in here. Sometimes you can do that. But I do have a bunch more mining orders set. So we can see on this level, this is going to be the offices here, probably our hospital here, and then maybe a meeting hall, something early that we can just have like new arrivals and stuff meet in this area, and just a flex room for whatever I need. If we get a guild hall request or something, that's probably the level we'll put it on. Now I got to remember though, this level is kind of cut off here. So we only have half a level to work with. It was just kind of why I'm using this one just for offices and such. But we go down a little bit lower. We will see that this, and now this is a full level too, by the way. I made sure this one would be. This is going to be our workshop area. So I'll put our first mason shop and the woodcutter carpenter down here. And of course we got the stockpiles across from it. Now I haven't done anything else, but obviously lower we'll put the bedrooms and stuff, and even lower than that, we'll do some catacombs. So let's see here. I will go ahead and set, I think, some more staircases to be dug, but we're going to do it at a much lower, well, I should say much higher, I guess, the level 7 priority. So it's going to be the lowest priority for them. All right, there we go. I don't want to go too deep. I'm not trying to hit caverns or anything, but I do want to have a lot of room to play with. And considering we're starting out so high up on the mountain, I think we can go down pretty far without risking too many caverns. We'll see. The lampreys are fighting. So we've got animals on the map that are fighting each other. These happen to be a couple of fish. Let's go check them out. Oh yeah, they're in the river over here. They're just having a good time of it. Well, we've got sturgeon. You know what that means. We've got caviar. Oh, look, there's a waterfall here. No way. Something. Oh, no, this is like, oh, okay, this is just current coming in from off the map. Yeah, that's right. There's another branch of this river. I remember it now. It cut off when I did my embarkation selection. So this isn't a waterfall. It's just like a branch in the river. So we're seeing just water currents in action. That's pretty awesome. So this is the surface of it too, by the way, but we can see under the water, I guess. Yeah. Wow. Look at that. We can go pretty deep. This is a deep, deep area. Let's see. Can I see the water level? Huh. I think this is it right here, but it's not showing it. Oh, well, no worries. I won't worry about that. I'm just fascinated by the water mechanics all of a sudden. Here we go. So, oh, this is important. You know, I really do need to get a stockpile going because I want to get all the stuff that's up here in the wagon. We need to get that unloaded. All right, and the workshops have gone in. So I've got 2 stone masons over here right away going to it. I love to see that. And beautiful red color too. We're using this rock salt here. That's wonderful. Loving it. All right. Now, so they got that up and quick. We've got the carpenter's workshop here, the craft dwarf here, and 2 stonemasons. Very important. Now, I really should bump up the priority here on this. Yeah, I think we're going to get this stockpile. At least one of them going real fast. There we go. That's fine. Yeah, let's see. Where are the miners? They're probably up here working on this. So yeah, I realized I needed to set up a stockpile here for the drinks and the foods. So we put it real close here to the old still, which is good. This is actually already up and working too. I can see. Yeah, beautiful. Just what we wanted. Now, one thing I don't have is any doors or tables or chairs. So I can't actually set up, yeah, this office, which did get dug. But one thing I do need to do is set this up as my F3 key. So I'm going to come in here, center this. Yep, perfect. So I've got F1, F2 is set up down here for my... Oh, look. Yes, the farm area is going nice, although we do have a bunch of insects and pests. So real quick, before I go through the rest of my hotkeys here, let's set up a pin pasture for this area and make it for the cats. Beautiful. All right, I'll have to go and repaint it here in a little bit because we didn't quite get everything because it's not all finished. But yeah, I'm just going to quickly slap the cats in here real quick. Okay, well, we've got the cats set up. I also went ahead and moved the chickens down here. Again, no doors, but we'll get those placed there. Ah, look how quick. I love how quick the doors respond to our every wish. It's wonderful. Yeah, so these birds will probably wander in and out of here without doors, but they're better off below ground anyway, even if it's just only one level. There we go. So all we've got left here upstairs are the pen pasture animals and the dogs, which is pretty good for right now. That's how it's probably going to stay for a little while. But let's check out the production level. Okay, so we've got the stockpile up and running. Oh, look at this. We got some migrants already. Oh my goodness. That's insane. Wow. Oh, now they did spawn right here by the base. Ew, that's kind of a bad sign to me, but we'll see what happens. So what did we start with? 7? And yeah, we ended up with 4 more. Holy crud, let's take a look at them. Here they are. No job. Oh, right. One's a metal crafter and one's a weaponsmith. That's perfect. That's exactly what we needed because I didn't set one of those up. We went double masons here because I was anticipating no wood or very little. But we're doing pretty sweet now, so they don't have any jobs. What that means to me is we need to set up some menial labor tasks for some of these guys right now, because obviously we don't have a metal crafting operation, so I'm almost tempted to go ahead and start the walls. Yeah, let me do that, actually. I'm not going to get full completion, obviously, but I'm going to get some of it started. All right, well, it's not perfect, and it's not going to be symmetrical, because I will put this... This is, like I said, it's going to be very small. So let's kind of outline it here for you. Do the construction wall. This, I'm not going to lay this right now, but this is how it's going to go. And then I'll bring the next line down this way and over. So it's going to be extremely small compared to some of the others I've done, which I think is ideal, really. We don't need to claim a lot of surface area. You know, we've got plenty of land below ground. The dwarves are perfectly happy. And if we keep our, you know, our stuff sealed up nice and tight, nobody can get to us. So wilderness, yeah, go eat your heart out. We're going to be doing fine here. There's plenty of birds. I'm seeing a lot of birds flying around. That's pretty good. All right, well, we have set up an office for our manager, so that's very important because I've already been setting up work orders down here. I did a few tasks just so they'd get ready, get to work right away. But yeah, we do have work orders set for some of these already, and it's going to be important. I'm anxious to see my dual stone workers down here working because even though we don't necessarily need it now because we do have some wood up here, it's going to be nice to have extra hands on deck when it comes to our stone. Maybe I don't have to be so reliant on wood down the road. We can use it more for charcoal and less for furniture. So that'll be handy. And in other words, ultimately, that means we can keep our gates closed for longer. So that's going to be really good. And you can see just how quickly we get this all set up. Now, obviously, we're going to need a lever for this. So I'll put that down here. Let's go ahead and order. Yeah, I think we'll do, this will be our lever room possibly here. Sure, why not? And as we go, we'll put more and more in here for different needs. But yeah, one day we'll probably have a dwarf just living in here. We'll zone it just for one dwarf to live and be our lever puller constantly, so that when we need a lever pulled, it'll happen immediately. Well, there's a few things left in the wagon here, but oh wow, there's actually a lot of stuff left. But I think we are safe to go ahead and get that dismantled. Oh, I just realized too, looking at the surface, one thing I need to build is a hatch cover. Oh yeah, let's get that set up real quick. In fact, I'm just going to add that as a task here. There it is right there, and I'm going to prioritize that. I just need one, just for that surface. But you can see we do have our stockpile up and running. Very good. You know what I need to take out of here is gems. I do not want them to be storing gems in the stockpile. We'll set that up for something else. They can just leave the gems where they where they get dug up for now. That's totally fine. But I'm tempted to go ahead and lay out some more of this wall here. I mean, why not, right? These guys got it built so quick. It's awesome. Let's see. Oh, okay, so we did get our lever room dug out. Let me do the lever first so I don't get sidetracked. Well, it would probably help if I built a mechanic shop and got some gears built before I'm trying to do anything else there with the lever. So that's what we got working on now. That's good. I caught that. I do have a level set up here. If I go down, not that one, this one. Okay, so this is going to be, I'm going to set this for F5. Boom. So this is our bedroom layer. And I think the first couple of rooms here are going to be like probably a few temples, but this one, I think since it's almost done, is going to be our first dormitory. So this will be where our first set of dwarves here get to sleep. So they can stop sleeping on the ground now. All right, great. They didn't quite finish it, but that's okay. I'm going to fill this out with all the first beds we get. Now the next set of beds I make will be for the hospital. Okay, so as mentioned, this is going to be the dump here. Now what I've done is I set up the stockpile and I created a custom one for corpses and refuse. In addition, I went in and overlaid it with the dump zone, garbage dump here too, so that'll kind of take up both both tasks. Let me know if that's a viable solution in the comments. So that's kind of something I've always done just to save space, but I don't need to do it. Obviously, I could build a whole separate one there, but I think it'll work fine. Now, I've noticed that, okay, some of these are not actually getting harvested quick enough. They weren't for a while. They were withering in the soil, so I hope we didn't lose too many. Let's see. All right, we've still got, yeah, some are planted in each one of those, so that's good to see. I can see the barrels are filling up quite quickly, so that's important. You just got to kind of monitor this stuff right off the bat. Now look at this. Actually, the food is kind of low here. I do have work orders set. We've got prepare lavish meals. Oh man. Let me look at my dwarves. Do we have anybody that can do any hunting? No, I don't see any hunters. So I might need to just go out and harvest a bit more. If we don't have any animals right now, then I should harvest. But I could probably butcher one or two of the animals they started us with. I know they started us with a camel, which is pretty pointless for right now. But let's see. Let's go down a couple Z levels. Boy, these slopes are pretty bare. Wow, even this lower level. Look at this. There's just such a contrast. There's like no vegetation here, but then right here on this side there's a ton. I don't think I'm going to have my dwarfs go down that far. What I might do is let's go up. Oh, wow. This is pretty barren, too. All right, there's nothing around here to harvest. We've got one level worth harvesting. I'm just going to grab everything. All right, that's good. We don't have to worry about getting too close to the edge right now, I don't think, because obviously I don't think we'll get attacked within our first season. Maybe within our first year, but that's okay. We'll be fine. Now, did I get that hatch cover built? Let's find out here. No, it's under hatches. There we go. I hope so. Yes, all right, we're set. We're totally secure. No, we've still, look, oh, the anvil is still sitting out here on the ground. That's not good, guys. Let's get that down below. That's very important. It's the only one we have. All right, I got some mechanisms built, well, not built. I've got them ordered up here, so we'll get that going. Look at this. I just noticed this entire section, all platinum. This is all, well, okay, no, I'm sorry. This is magnetite here. There's some platinum over here, though. This is platinum, though. This is a huge find right here, and this is our stockpile. So we've already got a bunch of magnetite, and you can see the platinum nuggets scattered around here. Wow. Okay, I was worried about metal at first, but geez, the mountains are the place to be for the dwarves, aren't they, folks? Anyway, that's going to be it for our first episode. I really appreciate you guys stopping by. If you enjoy the content, hit like and subscribe. Come back tomorrow because we're going to have a brand new episode up here for the series, and I will see you then. Hey everybody, thanks for watching, and now check out this fan art by a couple of my Discord members, Finn and Vita. It's pretty good, and I love the cuttlefish.